Welcome to Pick and Licks, the Dream Band podcast, with me, Dan Dan, and my co-host, Danny Beardsley. Dude, another episode. Episode 5, I think. Is that right?
It is, actually.
Oh, I got one right for a change.
It's easy to... Well, we're kind of editing other episodes, aren't we, at the same time?
Makes
so it's
it
easy
hard.
to kind of like mix up everything. But how have you been? What have you been up to? I've not seen you for a few days.
Yeah, I've had an exciting weekend, dude.
Tell me more.
Well, do you really want to know?
Yes.
I was out for Pride on Saturday in Nottingham.
Oh, bro. You have a good time?
Yep, had lots of pre-drinks. At Lisa's first.
Of course.
Drank probably...
Pre-drinks.
Probably drank...
Takes me back, that does.
Almost probably a half bottle of vodka. Before going out.
How was your head Sunday morning?
Average. Better than usual.
Did you have a Barocca?
I didn't. I should have done.
Other vitamin C products are available.
They are available. Readily available, one would say.
I think it's just vitamin C, isn't it, Barocca?
Pretty much. I think you piss most of it out, don't you?
You probably
Allegedly.
do. You probably do.
Yeah, so I had a nice evening. So we went for some as pre-drinks, then Pop World, half-price drinks on a Saturday before a certain time. Who knows when?
We've already established that it's not Rock City. I thought it was Rock City, Pop World, but it's a completely different venue.
No, I think it used to be Squares. It's on kind of off the square.
Oh.
You probably know where it is.
Did you pull some shapes? Did you do some dancing?
There was some moves that were probably illegal occurring. But that didn't last for long, so we had a film booked at like 8:30, so we went to see one of the probably worst horror films I've ever seen.
Ooh.
And when I
Here
say
it is. Dan Dan's reviews. Here we go.
Dan Dan's film reviews. And when I say worst horror film, I don't mean the most gory or anything like that. I just mean the serial killer was just a bloke that plodded along for like 2 hours, occasionally murdering someone.
Well, the scary thing about films like that is the thought of not being able to get away. Are you saying that you could have got away?
At the pace he was walking at, I would have been able to walk away.
With ease?
With ease, and that's saying something.
Eating food in one hand.
I could have food in one hand. I could be wearing my bass.
Like Mark King.
I could be wearing my bass. I could be eating a hot dog. And I could look across, see the killer walking towards me, and I could scuttle away and not break a sweat. And you know what? I'd be all right.
Whilst playing the myxomatosis scale.
While playing the only scale I know. I also watched... So on my recovery day on the Sunday...
Yeah.
After watching the wank film, on the Saturday, I decided to watch another horror film.
Called?
The Quiet Place, Day 1.
Or the alien one?
The aliens that can't see, but they can hear you.
I think I've seen one of them. I thought it was all right.
Yeah, the first two were all right, but this was awful again. The best bit was the cat. Don't want to give any spoilers away, but the best bit was the cat.
Brilliant.
That's the only thing the film had going for it. So, an unsuccessful weekend of bad films. Can you tell me that you've had a better weekend, Danny?
Well, I have got some big news.
Ooh.
I finished The Boys.
Hey, great, innit?
Oh, mate, the ending was amazing.
I was going to say, what did you think?
I thought that season was a little slower.
Yeah.
At first, I was a little bit disappointed. No, that's a strong word. I wasn't disappointed.
You just expecting more, wasn't you?
Yeah, probably, because it's been gradually building up, hasn't it? Over the first 3 seasons, just getting more and more intense, and then the fourth kind of slows down a little bit. Was that right in saying that?
I'd say so, but I do think they've built things up for the next season to be incredible.
100%. They've rounded it out beautifully.
I was sad to see the octopus die.
Spoiler.
She was my favourite character.
Oh, you have got a fan for that kind of creature, haven't you?
I do enjoy aquatic 8-legged creatures.
I said you have got a fan for that kind of creature. You have got a love for that kind of creature.
I've got a love for that kind of creature, yes. I've got great respect for the octopi of the sea.
Very intelligent creatures.
Spoiler, I wouldn't have let my love octopus die.
Loctopus.
I've got one tattooed on my leg. Well, it's a squid, but similar, same thing.
Similar category
of creature. Not the same, but very similar. A great series, wasn't it? And did you say you start watching Gen V as well?
Yeah, I've started that. The opening scene as ridiculous as... Yeah. I'm going to stick with it.
Yeah, stick with it. It's good.
We're both waiting for Vault Rising. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Vault Rising. I think that'll be a couple of years away yet, though, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd assume so. I mean, it must take a hell of a lot of planning.
Yeah, I think we've probably got another series of Gen V next year to look forward to. Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well, I'll catch up with that.
What else have you been doing?
I had a last-minute call from a friend asking for a guitar tech.
Ooh.
So I went and did some guitar tech work at the weekend with my friend's band.
Yeah.
They're from Derby. They're called These Wicked Rivers. They're
I know them.
fantastic band, like a kind of blues rock kind of band.
Oh dear.
So right up my street, really.
Oh, you have your perfect band.
No, they're dead cool guys as well. They're really good fun to be with. And we went down to a place. It was like a camper van festival at Wellingborough.
Oh, nice.
We'll patch in with the name of the place. The festival was called Bug Jam Festival at Santa Pod Raceway. Anyway, but there was all these like really fast cars that would. I'm not really into cars, but
Drag racing.
drag racing. That's it. Oh, you know some stuff you do, Dan.
It's in there somewhere.
Yeah, there was an amazing hip hop band on, absolutely awesome, playing like 90s classics. With like a couple, I think there was a couple of keyboard players and a front man doing all the singing and rapping, and then the drummer though,
Was he banging?
his groove was deep and fluid.
Deep and fluid. Sexual. Oh, we all love a bit of deep and fluid, don't we?
Yeah, I had a lot of guitars to sort though, mate, because one of the guitarists out of These Wicked Rivers, Aaron,
Yeah.
he's got a double neck,
Oh, my God.
18 strings in total.
Did you have like 30 seconds to tune them? Did he get violent with you?
I'll be honest, mate. The strings are like that close together. I was like, which one am I tuning
Just
here?
do them all to E.
Yeah.
Do them all to E, Danny. Simple. Did he actually use that? Did he use it, or was it just for show?
He used it for one song to close out the show.
Of
It sounded
course,
great.
of
It's like
course.
a really big track.
Yeah.
They put a brilliant performance on. They had an amazing crowd, and we had a right laugh. Oh, I had the best cheese and caramelised red onion toasty I've ever had.
That sounds banging. How much was that though? About 15 quid.
$6.50.
$6.50. That's not bad, to be fair.
It's not too bad at all, mate.
Not these days, anyway.
Not too bad.
I was expecting about 15 quid for that.
Yeah, so I got in at like 2:30 Sunday morning, and then it was up for tennis lessons with a little one.
The Gibbon.
Yeah, the Gibbon. And then we went to Sudbury Hall. It's a National Trust. You've been there before, haven't you?
Yeah, I went to the Civil Workhouse the other day in Children's Hospital thing, so
Oh, yeah.
we've both done the weird little National Trust trips recently.
We're proper rock and roll, aren't we?
Of course.
What have you been listening to this week?
You really don't want to know. So, on top of the 2 bad films I've watched, I decided to give Santanga another listen.
Oh, dear God. What did you do that for?
I just wanted to see if it was as bad as I remembered.
I can guarantee it was as bad as you
It was
remembered.
worse, honestly, songwriting. Why does every song have to be over 7 minutes long? Like, why? Why do you have to play that again?
It sounds like it doesn't sound refined, does it, that album? It sounds like they jammed everything out together and then didn't review it afterwards.
It sounds to me like every member, and what was his name? Bob Rock.
Bob Rock, I mean, he should know better, to be honest, because he's an amazing producer.
Well, you wouldn't know it by this album. But every decision every band member made during the entire decision-making process was the wrong one.
What, you don't like
What
him?
tuning shall we do it in? Oh, I don't know, B. Oh, yeah, that works. Shall we do another verse, chorus on this song to make it about 9 minutes long? Yeah, why not?
Should we let Lars play a different tempo?
I mean, I don't think they've got a say in that. I don't think that's a decision.
I think that's just up to the gods, really.
They play along to whatever Lars has come up with, I think. But honestly, it's horrific. It's so bad.
Yeah, it's not great. I wanted to enjoy that album,
There's nothing enjoyable.
but yeah, it's not enjoyable at all.
There's not one good tone on the album.
No, they tuned too low, and it sounds like they didn't really. It sounds like the strings aren't thick enough to me because they're like warbling all over the place.
I mean, you've got Kirk Hammett on guitar, and you don't let him play a solo.
I'm kind of happy with that, to be honest, mate.
Yeah, but I know you're not the biggest fan of Kirk's solos.
I prefer James Hetfield's solos.
Well, let one of them play a solo then.
Yeah, but it doesn't
Let
transform.
one of them.
It needs more than a solo, mate.
I know, but it would have. I don't know. Made me smile very slightly, maybe.
Yeah, but just put the documentary on. Documentary's really good.
I know. Yeah, that's so much better. So, to be fair, watching some kind of monster, you can see why it was a bad album.
Yeah, totally. And you know what, mate? They've got a back catalogue of ridiculously good albums. I mean, Load and Reload are my 2 favourite Metallica albums.
Yeah.
I know, and yeah. I love them.
See, I
think they're dead good.
quite like Master of Puppets and Ride the Lightning.
Yeah, and Justice for All was good, but you can't hear any bass, which is annoying. Everybody knows that.
No, it's been redone on YouTube. Have you heard it?
Is it the
And Justice for Jason?
Oh, brilliant! Yeah,
It's great. It's better with the bass.
I've not listened to it in full. Maybe I should do it.
Nothing, though, to be fair, if I'm being completely critical around it, there's too much bass on it. They've overdone it. There needs to be a Justice for All, well, an actual Justice for All, and make it nicely evened. But that's my controversial view.
And Justice for mixing, maybe.
And Justice for tone. There we go. Who we got on the podcast this week, Danny? Hey, no, hang on. Pause there. We'll come back. What have you been listening to?
Well, I've been listening to something actually good. I've been listening to Joey Landreth.
You say good. A bit boring for me.
I listened to... Wow, I knew you were going to say that. But it's just great songwriting. Great tone, amazing voice, slide player. If you like that kind of rootsy rock, Americana kind of stuff, it's definitely worth listening to. And Brothers Landreth. I'd say I listened to Joey Landreth and Brothers Landreth. I'd say I'd listen to at least once a month.
It's just a bit boring for me. It's just not edgy enough. I like a bit of edge.
What, like Saint Anger?
Not that much edge. That's too edgy.
Or U2. They've got plenty of edge.
Oh, my God. That's a wank joke.
Did you see that?
Can we cut that?
I shouldn't.
What are you laughing at?
Laugh at.
What are you laughing at?
Somebody else's. There was a video of him walking along a stage, and he literally fell off the edge of the stage.
I mean, that is funny.
I'll show you after this.
Was he seriously injured?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't laugh.
Maybe he's gone. Maybe that's it.
I think he's still around.
We just watched the YouTube video with the edge. What have you got to say around it?
It was better than I remember.
It's comedy gold, isn't it? Yeah. So just describe to the listeners, please, Danny, what's occurring.
I will describe what happened. Basically, the Edge was walking on stage and fell off the edge of the stage whilst the song I Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For. You couldn't write it, could you?
It's perfect. It's perfect. And he's just meandering along, isn't he? And you think, oh, he's a bit close to the edge.
Let's just see if he's still okay.
If nothing else, his effects pedal will still be going.
He's still alive.
Thank God. And we're not laughing at a dead man. He went off the edge.
Because it was around the time that they released their album onto everybody's Apple devices.
Well,
remember?
He deserved that then, didn't he?
It's karma.
How did they ever manage that? You wake up in the morning, you got a U2 album on your phone that you didn't ask for. Like, oh my God.
What would you rather have, U2 or Saint Anger?
Probably U2, to be honest. It's probably better than Santanga. I can't see how it could be worse, unfortunately.
What about is it the last track on Saint Anger?
Kill, 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 kill. That one. Do you want to add anything, Danny? Do you want to add any kills? Kill, kill, kill. Disgraceful album.
Anyway, who's on the show this week?
Oh, this week we've got the wonderful Joedy Rose.
Wonderful guy. Great guitar player.
Yeah.
Wonderful friend. And an all-round stellar human being.
Well, it was my first time meeting him, so I think I'll be the judge of this. But I would say he was a great guy.
He is a great guy.
Yeah, he's
a great guy.
Hope you enjoy today's episode.
Indeed. Should we crack on then?
Let's crack on. Should we start it?
Yeah.
Enjoy. I think we probably need to do a little bit of an introduction, Danny.
I think we probably do.
Who have we got here? Who is our guest today?
This is Joedy Rose.
It's not Carl Urban.
No, it's
the
not.
Awesome Joedy Rose.
It's not Urban.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime. Well, once. Not anytime. This is your one time.
Anytime.
Plus, it's a pretty long drive for him as well.
So, yeah, where you come from?
Home.
Okay.
Straight in there.
Cheers for the details.
Yeah, right, see you next week, lads. So I live in Petersfield, just the other side of Guildford.
Okay.
Probably
pretty far then.
3.5, 4 hours away.
A steady drive.
Steady drive. But a long drive.
Right. Do you want to tell the listeners about your past musical projects? And
yeah, gladly. So I was in a few bands back in the day, as they say. So I started off with everyone's favourite, metalcore stuff. Quick bit of insight. I was playing Wonderwall happily every day on my guitar until a lad joined our school and was like, "Oh, have you heard of Deep Purple? Have you heard of AC/DC?" have you heard of Metallica? And that was it. Metallica was the one for me. That
Was that-
yeah,
that's
that was
the one
like,
that
well,
got
I
you.
must learn all of this stuff.
Yeah.
And from then got on to like David Lee Roth, all the Van Halen stuff, Mr. Big, and it all went downhill from there when you start listening to Vi, Satch and everyone.
Yeah.
You go, I don't need lyrics, I just need guitar. So I was in a metal band and I played with a band called Kill 'Em Dead Cowboy, named after a NATO song.
Okay.
Kill 'Em Dead Cowboy, great group of lads. From them, I went on to a band called Summers, which were like AOR rock, album-orientated rock. We did a bit of stuff in America, 5-part vocal harmonies, very kind of Def Leppard-y stuff. And out of kind of college days and getting into music, the first proper gigging band that I was ever in that got me out there on a stage and shitting my pants in front of people was Fight the Empire. Cool. They were an indie rock band, and we just kind of we rocked it up a little bit more because I was always into Zakk Wylde and Pantera and everything, and they had good songs, but they were just a little bit too tepid.
So you injected a bit of energy into
Yeah,
them.
and then it all just like, I was going to just more, just louder.
More.
But yeah, three very different bands. I must say one of my favourite bands that I've played in was a band called Funk You. That was FUNK YOU. I had to think about spelling you then.
Thank you for clarifying.
We played funk and soul at weddings.
Oh, wow.
And do
Completely
you know what?
different.
Incredible. So much fun.
I can imagine. I loved it.
One weirdly, it's odd getting paid for playing music.
Yeah.
Especially on time and at the end of the evening.
It shouldn't be, should it?
No,
But
it really shouldn't be. But, you know, at the end, you get like a substantial amount of money and some cake, and people are smiling, and you're like, this is weird. Is this what it's like being famous? So yeah, like funk and soul, indie rock, metal, and 80s rock, I guess.
So you kind of covered a lot of bases there, haven't you? With your
Covered the entire spectrum, really.
No jazz chords.
No, not even
No,
one.
I
You'd
mean-
have thrown one in there somewhere. I'm sure you probably have at the wedding.
Just throwing a 7th chord in there.
Yeah.
That qualifies.
Any wrong note played at the right time is jazz.
Exactly. We've all done jazz
Yep.
accidentally at times. More than others, probably, to be honest. Bass jazz.
Well, as soon as you learn chromatics, that's it. You're in there.
See, I learnt mine from Rock Discipline,
Okay.
the original, like the book.
Oh,
Yeah.
the Bible.
Yeah, back in the day. And it's like, if you just play all of these at, I think John Petrucci played them at 6,000 RPM standard. Yeah. Semi, demi, hemi, quintuplet notes.
Not even sweating.
No.
Just chilling.
No sweat at all. Dry as a bone.
WD-40. That's what he sweats, because he's a machine.
He is indeed.
You've heard it here. Exclusive.
Are you doing anything at the minute?
No. So I haven't really played in about 6 years. I loved music, but along with that lifestyle comes other parts of certain, musical lifestyle. And I decided to just step away from it all.
Yep.
And I got into fitness. So now I'm a coach and a PT, and I help people, especially people that maybe do this for a living. And it goes hand in hand to, do you want a beer? Because you got to wait around for the next 6 hours.
Yeah.
Your sound check's done. Oh, yeah, okay. But I stopped playing, and it was nice to get away from it because I started to listen to music again. Rather than just kind of hearing it and consume. Big Wreck was a massive one for me for starting to listen to lyrical content. And I went back, and weirdly, the biggest turning point, I think, I'm going to throw it out there and say, in my entire musical and probably life in general, was listening to Joey Landreth and understanding how incredible his harmonic content is in his songwriting, but how easily he makes it into just a song.
Yeah.
And I was listening to the music, I was listening to the lyrics, and I've listened to it I've told him this in person, I've listened to it every day on repeat for years, and I'm still not bored of it.
Wow.
And I go back to listening to Metallica and stuff now, and I go, oh, this is great for a few songs. But if you put on any Brothers Landreth or any Joey Landreth, it will never get switched off because I'm just listening to all of it.
Yep.
So the things I have been, to kind of circle back to the original question, things I've been doing recently, since I had an operation on my left wrist, which means I can use it again, starting to get into open tunings and just listening to the beauty of his songs and going, okay, what can I take? what little piece, that nugget of goodness that I can steal from that and start to work that out on my own.
It's really interesting because I think when you are in bands constantly, you don't listen to the music. You listen to, for me especially, I listen to the bass and that's kind of it. Yeah. I don't really see the bigger picture. I don't listen to the vocals, the lyrics, the guitar. I'm focused on what I'm listening to because that's what I'm doing kind of on stage or recording.
You just consume it, and everyone turns up at gigs, except the guys that go, oh, he played that wrong and he should have put that 4 inches higher than that and that should have been this note played on that string. There are them, but it's the people that turn up and they go, oh, I've never played an instrument in my life. I just love music. And you think, oh, I'm so jealous of you.
Yeah.
Because they can't see the matrix.
Yeah.
They just turn up and go.
Exactly. It would be great sometimes just to wipe all that knowledge away from your brain and just listen to it as someone with no kind of ties to it at all.
I mean, I think that's what Jaeger bombs do.
Well, but, but no memory of it either afterwards.
Yeah, so.
But yeah, that is really interesting. I've not thought of it that way before, but I've not played in a band now for a good 7 or 8 years now, is it? Something like that?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
And I think I've found myself enjoying music more since then as well.
Which is a shame, and I think it speaks to how hard the industry is, and also, dare I say it, the lack of respect in some ways that, it's bands undercut one another for pub gigs. And it's the same in my profession, or someone would say, oh, we will give you this show and entertain you for X amount of money. And people go, cool, that's quite a lot. And it's like, well, there's 5 members. We drove here. We've got a keyboard player. There's this, By the time you actually work it out, everyone's getting paid 4p.
Yeah.
It's
that's the reality of it,
a really good investment on your part. And everyone's like, oh, okay. But people don't want to pay for the music, and it makes it a lot harder on the musicians.
Yep.
And like you say, you step away from that and there's nothing like playing a live gig and being up on that stage and the lights and the smell and the sweat in your eye. But it's always made better if you can go to work, enjoy your job, come home and be able to pay the bills.
Yeah.
And I think there's a huge disparity between those two within the music industry.
It's not really realistic anymore, is it, for most bands, unfortunately?
Yeah. Not even the big ones.
No. Well, the streaming services, as good as they are, they've taken the money. They took away money. Music's effectively free nowadays, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, you can't sell CDs.
You can't really sell music anymore. The bigger bands probably can, with someone kind of, but even they don't sell vast quantities, do they? Who buys MP3s? Who buys stuff anymore?
No, I don't think anyone does.
I think the resurgence of vinyl has really helped.
It's something, but it's not. No one's going to make a living off selling a few vinyls, are they?
No, but I like the fact that I went and saw the Brothers Landreth in Bristol not too long ago. Is it Thekla? I believe it's called Thekla. It's on a boat. It's an incredible venue. So good.
We'll fact check later.
And it's called Insert Name Here. And it was so good. And I got some vinyl and I bought a pedal. And I think turning up to a gig and having an array of pedals for sale is a very clever idea.
Yeah, it is.
Because
that's amazing.
Everyone's 4 beers down. They've all been like, Mr. Brightsiding your lyrics out. And there was a lot of guys at that gig that started off, arms crossed, like nod the head. And by the end of it, arms out and looking quite tearful because you cannot not get emotional in that atmosphere. And Joey was a bit emotional and Dave was a bit emotional and everyone, you were just there and you're like, man, we're all a bunch of men and women here, like just crying our eyes out and talking about family and big amazing songs. And it's, do you want a fuzz pedal? Yes, I do. I will pay you hard monies for this fuzz pedal.
Like emotional blackmail to sell pedals. That's great.
But again, it's always this, people moaning about, I went and saw Pearl Jam recently, an amazing gig.
Oh, yeah. You went, was it on this tour?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
How was it?
It was good. Eddie struggled. He's got a bit of a...
He's got vocal problem.
Throat cold and stuff like that. And he really tried, but he was struggling to hit some of those notes. And unfortunately, all of the notes he sings are those notes because he's got an incredible voice. And he leant on the crowd and the crowd leant back and gave it. It was beautiful to be part of that. And he said thank you very much to everyone. I think they've cancelled some dates recently as well.
I saw that, yeah.
But... you look at the price and it's now like £40, £50 for a T-shirt and then hoodies and more and people go, oh, that's a rip-off. And it's like, well, you've both just paid £9 a pint
Yeah, that's it.
But
And that's gone.
That's
gone.
And everyone
Yeah.
there's like, oh, we'll get 4 or 5 pints in, and then we'll do. It's like, but
That's a t-shirt.
it used to be £4 or £5 a pint,
Yeah.
and everyone moaned. But that's when t-shirts were £20. So you need to think about everything's going up.
The thing with a t-shirt, it's something you've got something physical. Do you know what I mean? You've got something that lives on rather than a pint of beer that's it's gone. But
again, people don't think like that.
unfortunately, not.
It's like, quick, grab a pint. £9.
£9. I know it's awful, isn't
Brilliant. I always think of Eddie Vedder as being the original Scott Stapp.
He is the original Scott Stapp.
Scott Stapp's stolen voice. Maybe that's why Scott Stapp sounds better now.
It's a bold claim.
Eddie's lost his ability temporarily.
Are you saying that Scott Stapp's absorbed his power?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying in some way?
Just put it out there.
Absorbed it into his jaw.
He's a strong man.
That's where he gets his voice from, that jaw.
Should we move on to the next sectoid?
Yeah, kind of the proper start, isn't it, really? So, in your dream band, what are you going to be playing?
So this was a tough question because when I originally heard the concept of this, and we spoke earlier on about the Off Menu podcast, and
Yes.
like food is love and food is my life, it's everything. And I was like, this is such a great concept because you are basically dream restauranting. You're this band, aren't you? It's
Exactly.
like, okay, you get everything, and it's like, but the sharpened boomerang of it all was you have to be in the band. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, you do.
that sucks.
It's your band.
Yeah, I know, but
It's your dream band.
Can't I be the manager?
Absolutely not. You're in the band.
You got to be in the band.
I'm amazing at playing the triangle because I just think of it as a lunch bell, basically. I'm honest.
That's definitely a cop out.
It is, but you've never heard me play
I've
triangle,
heard you
so
play.
so like
You've heard him play triangle.
I could-
I was going to say I've heard him play guitar. and
I could play
think
them.
he should play guitar.
I could play the meanest triangle ever, and you'd have just thrown that away. Then you'd be like, "Yeah, it's a bit of a cop out."
I think the
What if I
meanest
was the-
triangle ever is still not that good. I'm not dissing any professional triangle
If I was
players out
like-
there, but it's still not going to be that good, is it? Ting, ting, ting.
Is it Mike Mangini?
Is it the drum? Is he a
Yeah.
drummer?
He's a drummer,
He
yeah.
played
what's
for
it?
Steve Vai.
Fact check. Mike Mangini played for Annihilator, Extreme, Nuno Betancourt, Steve Vai, Mole Muzzler, what? Sal DiFusco, never heard of him, Tribe of Judah, Mike Visconti, Tim Donahue, a Rush tribute, what? Shredding the Envelope, Daniel Peake, Dream Theater, Into the Great Divide, Rod Silverman, Cross Country Driver, and Simply Mangini.
You can't say that he'd be rubbish on a triangle. Like you'd still stand there and watch a triangle solo, wouldn't you?
For him, yeah.
So there you go. Then
You're not gonna pull it off.
what if I taught him how to play a triangle?
You didn't though, did you?
But you don't know.
It would get tiring though, wouldn't it? Just that one.
I suppose you can mute it. You can mute a triangle. You can polyrhythms.
Yeah.
Maybe if you like bend it, it would change the pitch. Maybe.
You can dual stick it.
You'd have to have some good strength to change the pitch of a triangle.
Yeah, you're a strong man. You're a strong. I'm sure if anyone could do it.
I think
That's going to be my new goal in
for
life.
me, it's not a viable instrument. Again, apologies to all professional triangle players out there.
That's spelt VAI, like Steve Vai, viable. Yeah.
Is it Steve Viable?
I will not stop with dad jokes.
Keep on
so
coming.
this is really tough because I don't, without being all negative, I don't rate myself as a guitar player. I know that I can play and I've enjoyed it and stuff, but in a band full of wonderful, amazing people, like the oh my God, this would be a great band. If I had to play an instrument, it would probably be the Hammond organ.
Hammond
Hammond
organ.
organ.
Okay.
Oh,
Just because every time you listen to stuff like Highway Star or anything like, old school.
yeah. I've gone back listening to
Yeah.
old Deep Purple recently, and the organ adds so much.
You don't get it these days, do you? You don't hear a lot of organ
No.
Then we need to bring
on
it
any
back.
kind of music, let alone rock. You don't hear any. It's
I just think
keyboards nowadays
I just
are
think
samples,
it's
isn't it?
an incredible thing, and you say like you get imagine Chris Stapleton and an acoustic.
Oh yeah.
Marcus King walks out with a gibbo, and then someone just rocks out on a Hammond. You're like, oh my God,
It's captivating, isn't it?
oh my God, this is incredible.
It just sits in a different frequency range,
Yeah.
doesn't it? And gets out of the
Yeah.
way of everyone
It
else.
cuts through, and it's.
It's a nice comfort blanket for the rest of the
But
musicians.
again, it's just not there
Beautiful.
anymore, is it? So it'd be great. It's great for you to bring that back.
There is one downside to this.
Okay.
I'm not very good.
Well,
Keyboard player.
in your dream band, you can enhance your skill. Let's say, we'll pump you full of
skill,
like that Matrix thing where you just pump it into the back of your head. All advanced technology, so you can do that. How's that
Wicked.
sound?
Nice.
So you'd be a competent organ player.
Mini disc.
Yeah. Oh, I had a mini disc player at school.
Yeah.
I didn't get to that point because we didn't have much money. By the time I had enough money to get a mini disc player, they'd gone out of fashion.
I don't know where I got it from. I think I got it. I don't know.
For a moment, then I was like, "Sure, you got to school."
Did that?
I had a tape player before that, though.
I had a tape player for a very long time.
I used to record the top 40 every week on tape.
Everyone did. They cut the beginning and the end of the song off because
Yeah. Used to do that every week just to get some music.
And it starts to
music down me.
warble over time.
Yeah.
Who used to make mixtapes for the girls that they fancied
Yes,
at
I
school?
mean, yes. I made mixed CDs. That was a CD time for me. That was.
Oh God,
the next
he was a
generation.
burner. Yeah.
I was a burner. Yeah.
Where'd you get them? Napster. And we're back to Spotify.
I think it was.
Love you, Spotify.
I think it was LimeWire.
Oh,
I'm sure MP3.com was in action back in the day as well. They used to take about
torrent something. Torrent
there's
web?
torrents as well and all of that kind of stuff. But I remember a song taking like 25 minutes to download one song on dial-up.
I'll be honest, I'm with TalkTalk on TalkTalk broadband at the moment.
Other broadband providers are available.
Are available and feel free. And it takes me about 25 minutes to download a song.
Okay, so it's all right if you diss them. You can say the name again.
I just sit there like I could probably write the song quicker than this. And I don't even.
No disrespect to TalkTalk, just in case they want to sponsor this podcast.
Yeah, totally.
Our options are open.
Yeah.
I forgot where we were.
Yeah,
Sorry. We talked about mini disc players,
Hammond
tape
organ.
players.
You said like if I could be in the band and play an instrument, and it would be the Hammond organ.
The Hammond organ. Thank you for clarifying.
We're going to move on to the rules.
It's not a rule.
We've got some rules.
We're very strict
sorry.
as
I'm
well.
not very good with rules.
Well, you better be, because we've had enough of people
I'm like
flaunting
Billy-
these rules.
I'm like Billy Idol. I just do what I want.
Well, we'll just cut it if you go off menu. So, Danny, what are the rules? Give us a little reminder.
Right, I'll do the first one. So you can't have any current or past band members. You can't have been in a band with them.
And you can't choose more than one member from the same band. Has that scuppered any of your plans?
No.
So we're going to move on now to your dream
Drummer.
Sorry, I left it for dramatic effect there.
I didn't know we were going to do that.
I know, well, I thought we'd try something different.
Splice.
So, who is your dream drummer?
Mike Portnoy.
Oh my God,
That's the second one of the day.
the second Mike Portnoy of the day. What are the chances of that? Well,
Has to be.
quite high, really, I suppose. 'cause
I think he's going to get chosen quite a bit.
we
He's
might
very
have to
versatile.
put a Mike Portnoy band in place at some point, you know. So why Mike Portnoy?
So I was really into, and I say this a weird way, apparently, Dream Theatre. And
Dream Theatre?
Yeah.
It's almost like you're questioning it.
Yeah.
Dream Theatre?
I've always said it like that. It's like when people say, "Oh, do you like Green Day?" And it's like, "You mean Green Day?"
Yeah. Dream Theatre?
Dream Theatre?
Doing theatre.
Yeah, it's a question. Dream Theatre. Better?
You don't have to change yourself for us. It's fine.
Just
be
If you
yourself.
want
Just
to be questioning of Dream Theatre, that's okay. So
Amazing band. Such
massive
a good,
fan of them.
Yeah, John Petrucci, Rock Discipline, just getting into all of that disgusting playing that made me contemplate maths and life. And you just think to yourself, how can someone be that good on the guitar?
I know.
And then it occurs to you, hang on a minute, what is that
what's happening
How is
behind?
he doing that in the background?
I know.
And then you see him in that aerial view, you know, the YouTube video where it's like...
Playing his five.
Oh, he's only got 95 toms, 400 cymbals.
Yeah.
And it's like playing 6 different drum kits. So I think at one point they probably had to catapult him into his drum kit. Drop some sticks in. And like, lower
Can't
the
actually get
globe. Lower the globe.
Honestly, I can't play drums anyway, but even if I was an experienced drummer, like, just how does he map and remember where everything is? Like,
But that's the beauty of it, because it's just Mike. He just does that thing and he gets behind it. And I think what really nails it is when I saw the Winery Dogs.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And he was just singing away and he would just belt the mic out the way, do that, launch a stick that he snapped, spit over his own head, grab a drink, do that. And then someone would do that with the boom and the mic could come back and he'd stop it with a stick and carry on singing. It's like, He's got complete control over all of this. The guy behind him's probably absolutely covered in spit by now, and like his only job is to stop the mic and then send it back. And it's just like, this guy is cool.
He's a main character, isn't he?
He is so cool.
He's the main character of drummers.
I forgot he sang as well.
He's a legend.
I think he can do everything, can't he?
But he has that ability to be like, oh, you want it in 48 different timings and do this thing. Like Periphery's drummer is incredible. I always appreciated the drums in Korn, you know, like listening to that. Like, it's like a BB gun going off around a kit. But yeah, Mike Portnoy, hands down, just everything he's ever played.
One of the best.
Have you got a favourite track, standout track, from whatever project he's done? Anything stand out to you? It's horrible when you get asked this on the spot.
I think it's good, though. Makes you kind of come up with something quickly, doesn't it?
I think...
It's hard.
I like all his stuff in his other projects more than doing Dream Theater. So, like Winery Jockton, for instance, I think he really...
Yeah, but he's absolutely slays in Dream Theater, though.
When you, like, all of them prog time in that, but, like, As I Am, just... It's not even a really out-of-time song. It's not all that craziness, but it's just how he delivers it.
Yeah.
For me, it's when they're all going out, when every member of Dream Theater is all going all out at once. So they're all doing, like, something mad. It's just like, how do you even write that?
But the crazy thing is, like, right, if everyone could just go off and do their own thing in any time, we've all got a click in our ears. Meet back here in 16 minutes? Yeah, nice. And they do. And it's like, ting, 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 and they're all back in time. Just incredible.
Mad.
Incredible.
Next level.
Have you seen them before? So you said Winery Dogs?
Yeah, I've seen
Dream Theater?
I saw them on my birthday many years ago.
Have you met him?
No, not Mike Portnoy.
No.
That would be great. I think if I met him, I probably would just be like, fist bump, and just look at him like, dude, and then just carry on, because he's one of those guys, you know, he's just like, yeah, sweet. I've got a little side drummer story that we went to a Motorhead gig, and the drummer in Summers, Andy, we used to go to Motorhead gigs quite a lot. He's got 2 of Motorhead's old drum kits.
Okay. Nice.
So we turn up.
As you do.
And I'm on a health freak, getting fit, doing this thing. I'm looking quite healthy. I'm growing some arms. I'm like, yeah, cool. Lemmy walks past and sees me with a San Pellegrino in my hand. And he just looks at the tin and looks at my face. And he looks at the tin and he looks at my mate and he just shakes his head like that. Doesn't say a word, just walks off. I've never felt so judged in my life. And I was just like, and Brad looked at me and was like, oh my God. And obviously, their drummer's incredible.
Yeah.
Everyone knows Motorhead drums are not rubbish. Does he play for Scorpions now?
Fact check. Mickey D does play for the Scorpions.
Oh, I don't know. We'd have to fact check this, I think.
But, you know, just sat backstage, and it's really nice, because he's like, hey, man, do you want another San Pellegrino? And I'm like, my guy. Yes, please, Mickey. I would love a San Pellegrino, please, sir. Thank you. Just so laid back, you know, and it's just like, I can't believe, and I don't mean this horribly, like, at your age, to get up and do what you just did, as well as you did it, and then just sit down, you know, roll a cigarette, grab a drink, and be like, hey, man, how are you? And it's like, do you not need a nap? Like, that level of drumming for anyone, Mike Portnoy, Mickey, and it doesn't matter who you are, that's like 2 hours of obscene fitness.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to affect them, though, does it?
No, because that's drummers.
Yeah.
they're all a bit crazy.
They don't operate on the same human level as other people, do they, really?
Different breed.
So we're going to move on to your dream guitarist.
So there is going to be 2 guitarists,
Okay.
and this is very difficult because both of them are going to play rhythm and both of them are going to play lead.
That's fine.
That's absolutely fine.
That's absolutely fine.
But also, they're both going to do vocals alongside a very good vocalist. Like, they will be the best backing vocals you would ever have in a band.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds good. If it's who I'm thinking of.
Who are you thinking of?
What am I supposed to say? It's going to give it away, though, isn't it? I can just confirm. You can just trust me.
Yeah. He can't. He can't.
Message me. I'll message you. And then we'll have the receipt then.
We'll have the receipt.
Because he made the bold claim about Dave Wright's suggestions, and he was completely wrong.
I was completely wrong.
So
I was completely
I
wrong.
want to see if his hit rate's any better with you.
This should become part of the podcast.
predictions.
Danny's prediction.
Not come through yet, Danny. Oh yeah, Mick. Yeah,
Okay.
I think you probably mentioned. Yeah.
We'll see.
Okay, back to the pod.
I think I know both, but let's go.
Hey, bro.
Okay, so your first guitarist then.
What did he say, bro? What did he say?
We'll reveal in a minute.
Ian Thornley.
Correct. Oh, sorry, Danny was correct.
Amazing choice.
Mate, you knew
Amazing
it would be.
choice.
You
Danny
knew
loves Ian Thornley, so
You never said.
both Thornley. Is it Thornley, his solo project, and then Big
Thornley.
Wreck?
Yeah.
Big Wreck. Is it Ian Fletcher Thornley? His solo
Yeah.
project as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything he touches is just golden.
I've
in
only
my
really,
opinion.
I mean, I've listened to a little bit of Big Wreck, but I do love the Thornley. Is it one album or two albums?
I imagine you like the first album. It's because it's a bit more new metal. So I
Yeah,
think
that's
you
the
would
one.
like that album.
That's the one I like. Yeah. Apologies if you're not a fan of the new metal Ian
No,
Thornley stuff.
I love it all.
But yeah, he's a great singer as well. So you have picked someone that.
Yeah, so I think the
Could be
thing
back
is, when I found Big Wreck and I started listening, it was around. Do you remember when he did the hour or so with Captain Anderson?
I've watched that video
And he had
8
the
times, probably.
Sir Hedgehog,
8.
Yeah.
and I think he had a Rufus Reloaded or something on the pedal board, and it was just that thick, incredible tone, and he's just sat there looking cool, chatting away, and it's like, who is this guy? And then you go on his Instagram and you see he's like little wood shopping chops, getting stuff together, and any strat. Wow, you will never beat Chris Cornell's voice, because Chris Cornell has one of the most incredible voices in the history of music.
Absolutely.
But Ian Thornley, to me, has so much essence of Chris Cornell's. Would it be timbre? That sound, that grit, that gravel, that range.
Yeah.
And yet, there's a darkness to what Ian Thornley does when he sings, and he's very clever with how he writes, and he can write the most unhappy song with the happiest sound ever, or vice versa. And it's not heavy for the sake of being heavy. It's heavy because it's been orchestrated and articulated in a way that you go, oh my God, that's heavy. And you go, yeah, it's actually in drop D. It doesn't need to be 28 string drop A something.
No.
It's just
You can do heavy. You can do heavy in E.
just so good. So good.
I've stolen a lot of stuff from Ian Thornley and his playing.
Borrowed, he's borrowed.
I've borrowed
A lot of Ian Thornley's work can be found on Danny Beardsley's solo album.
You want a Paul Mann version?
Available now on Spotify. Other music.
Other works
providers.
can be stolen.
It's just his ability to. I mean, obviously you can tell that he's a massive Eric Johnson fan as well. So there's
But
that.
that's getting into the Bonamassa Johnson sort of who stole from who.
And that's your kind of irk, isn't it? You love
borrow,
those guys.
You borrow from each other. I mean, the reason why I've got a Rufus Reloaded fuzz pedal for anyone who doesn't know what it is.
Yep.
We are what we eat, Danny. We are what we eat.
Yeah. All the inverted power chords.
Did you just call me a rice cake?
Currently, yes.
Yeah.
Totally. You're becoming one.
I am rice cake.
I am the rice.
I'm glad you're letting him play lead as well, because he's been
Actually,
playing.
the name of my new band, Rice Cake. He's an incredible rhythm player. He's an incredible slide player. But yeah, you couldn't not. I mean, the outro solo on Ghosts.
It's immense. And he's going to be singing as well.
He
As
will
like
be
the backing vocals.
one of the singers. Yeah, basically they're all in my band. It's kind of Fleetwood Mackie. One day someone's gonna. I mean, not in that way.
It could be. There's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, no, absolutely fine. What happens on tour? But it's that whose voice is best for this song?
Yeah.
Yours. Okay, you do.
I love that about Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
You never know who you can get, do you? Really?
And I like that.
It's a good option for a band.
Yeah.
Have you met them before?
I wish that would be amazing.
Have you met him, Danny?
I've met Ian Thornley.
I thought he would have done.
Yeah.
How was he? Was he a good guy?
He was the sweetest guy. And I remember I went to a guitar clinic. They bought me a Big Wreck t-shirt, and he was being interviewed and everything, and he was more interested in the fact that I was sitting there. There was probably about 20 people there, and he was like, "Dude, cool t-shirt." And I was like, "Oh my God, don't be a fanboy, don't be a fanboy." But I managed to get have a proper good chat
Immediately
with him.
turns around.
Yeah.
I love you, Ian Thornley.
I don't know what it is. Like, when you meet people that you've listened to and you kind of worship in a way, don't you? You meet them and you think, "Oh, I'll try and be normal." And I'm not.
You struggle with that anyway.
I struggle with that anyway, but Yeah. He's just a really down to earth guy. Nice to talk to and everything. And
He appears like he would be. To be fair, he looks like a decent guy.
I think he's a proper unsung hero. He definitely deserves a lot more credit. This should be massive.
Often the way that it goes in this world, isn't it? You know, I'm not going to slag off rubbish acts that are out there earning an absolute fortune, but
I will.
We all know that they're there. There will be a list at the end of the podcast. Just scroll down.
I can mention a few now if you like.
Yeah, but it's that thing.
Five Finger Death Punch.
Whoa. Doesn't Andy James play for them now?
I don't know. Probably. It's true. Andy James did join the terrible band Five Finger Death Punch back in 2020.
He did do, didn't he?
Andy James, he just incredible player.
Wasted on Five Finger Death Punch.
I really like Sacred Mother Tongue. They were a great band.
I think we played with them in
We've played
Jung.
I was going to say we played with them.
Yeah.
Where did we play with them?
I'm sure
we played somewhere with them, yeah. Moving on now to your next member. My favourite bit. The dream bass player.
So I was thinking about bass players, and obviously you've got Dave Henning, Dave McMillan, and they were both bass players from Big Wreck. But I wanted to look up the name because I've never really cared much about bass playing. And I've said this to you before.
Oh, that's a burn.
No, it's totally not. Until you listen to Ghosts.
Okay.
And you've got that chicka, 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 chicka. It's just there. And Ian Thornley starts singing, and you're like, God, this bass line's incredible. You find yourself like grooving to the bass. And even when the guitar solo kicks in, you're like, and people look at you and they're like, what are you doing? You go, oh my God, I've become a bass player.
Yeah. The bass. You've been affected by bass.
It makes everything sound better.
And right at the end when it goes, and you get that, so it fades out and you're like, God, that bass line's great. Oh, I need to rewind to listen to the solo, don't I? Yeah. And I found myself every time that song came on going, I love this bass line. I love this bass line. And it occurred to me that it's not just the bass line, it's the tone. It's how, I mean, we could all be like, I would like Victor Wooten to play bass in my band. And when he's having a day off, Les Claypool. You know?
Yeah.
Ta-da! But, you know, all of the players out there, John Myung, Dream Theater. Yeah. There are so many. Was it Jaco Pastorius? Incredible bass player.
Jazz.
But I've never, excuse my French, given a shit about any of it. I'm like, yeah, whatever, good bass line, nice, cheers, bro. And then that song, I'm like, this is incredible. And when you're listening to the solo in that song, but you're paying attention to the bass line, you know something has to be good.
That's very true.
But I can't have him.
No, I was going to say...
Because he's in the same...
I was going to jump in at some point.
No, because he's in the same band. I like to bring him in and then push him back out. So...
It's a tease.
I was starting... The anger was rising within me.
I've chosen the world's greatest bass player. And you know who it is, don't you?
I don't... Well...
Say it.
No, I'm not going to say it.
You're a bass player, say it.
No, because we've probably got...
It's on the tip of your tongue. I went for Billy Sheehan.
Oh, Billy Sheehan has been mentioned as an honourable mention in the past.
Billy Sheehan.
I mean, he can do everything, can't he?
He's been in Sons of Apollo with him, hasn't he?
And Billy Sheehan is in Winery Dogs.
Oh, he's in Winery Dogs.
Yeah.
This is a rule break.
No, it's not, because it's a different band.
No, can't have been in any band with him.
Are you sure?
Yes, we
any band.
It's our podcast. So unfortunately, Billy's been sent home. He's not in your band. Him and Mike knew each other too well.
Maybe you can play the bass line on the organ.
Just like now, I've got to go down that end of my Casio keyboard, press a button, and go. Dum, dum, dum.
Yeah, well, you change the octave on it.
One,
DJ.
One. Right, that's it. I'm going to the bar. I'm going to press demo. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Well,
I mean, we're
going to get one of those drinks. What was it again? The one that you were drinking at the Lemmy gig.
Oh, San Pellegrino. Other drinks are available.
Got there first.
I really like Mojitos, actually. It's my favourite drink at the moment.
Mojito? I love Mojitos.
Yeah, Mojito is basically sparkling water with ice in it. Yeah, nice. And if you put, a little bit of pre-workout in there, it's a brojito. But apparently it's not a done thing.
Okay.
No, but I really like fizzy water.
So we have thrown a spanner in your works and not accepted your submission
This
for
is
bass
the
player.
first.
I put my foot down. Not having it.
Absolutely fine.
He'll have someone up his sleeve. He's got someone else.
The guy from level 42.
Mark King.
Mark King.
Oh, amazing.
God.
Absolute legend. In fact, I'm happier with him than Billy Sheehan.
I think I am, really.
I'm happier. So, for the listeners, I'm doing...
See, that's
I'm
the bit.
doing
That's
I am
sounds like me eating Chinese food.
I'm doing
Other foods are available.
Alan Partridge when he's when he's listening to level 42.
You can tell because look out. That's the same height I play guitar at, by the way.
Oh, do you really play?
Yeah.
You're a
Yeah.
guitarist from Killswitch Engage has it up there, doesn't he?
Adam.
The day that Adam D walked out on stage, fist bumped me and said, "Sick tune, dude," was the day that I nearly had a total fanboy moment.
Oh, that's a
story.
cool story.
That was incredible.
Elaborate.
That was the last gig I ever played with Kill 'Em Dead Cowboy, and we opened up for Times of Grace.
Oh,
We
yeah.
did a 45-minute set. They had Matt Backon from Shadows Fall, Jesse Leach, Adam D's there. I can't remember. There was another guy from, it was like a different drummer or something. It was all going really well until my girlfriend at the time walked up and went, "He loves you. He buys all of your equipment and stares at all of your stuff." And he just kind of looked and I was like, no. I mean, it does look similar to your layout, obviously. I was going, "What settings do you use?"
Was this the boogie days?
Yeah, always mess a boogie till I die, bro. I mess a
Boogie
boogie.
till I die.
Yeah, I will always best amps ever.
As he sits next to a stack of orange.
Yeah, but they're not mine. They're not mine. And you played through my boogie, and
Yeah, it was very nice.
it was impeccable, incredible, and it was a really good gig. And then we all went out and got a little bit inebriated afterwards, and it was fun times. But you know, the sound guy was like, "Oh, you need to do this," and Adam D was like, "No, that sounds good." And I'm like, "Fuck you, sound guy."
We've all wanted to say that at some point, haven't we?
Listen to Adam D. He knew
Yeah.
what he was talking about.
It was really good.
He's a great producer, isn't he?
I mean, he just seems like a hilarious guy as well.
Oh, he's incredible. And what I liked
Outrageous.
is he
Outrageous.
set everything up, went out for a run, basically ran around Portsmouth, came back in, came through the door, was like that, got up on stage, pissed excellence, and had a great time. And I was like, he's fucking nailing life, bro.
Yeah, he don't
Nailing
care,
life.
does he?
Excuse me, my
Oh, no,
French.
I swear what she's like.
Oh, that's cool.
So,
yeah.
I like how we've gone from Mark King to Adam D from Killswitch Engage.
Great drummer, too.
Agreed, indeed. But back to Mark King, back to the bass. What do you like about him? Apart from his crazy, absolute mad slapness.
So, just a very capable bass player. And when you think back to, like, if I had to think of bass players that stick out in my mind, I'm like, oh, there's not that many because I don't pay that much attention to bass players. You know, I've mentioned a few and I'm like, yeah, cool. But the moment you go, level 46, everyone goes, oh my God.
Yeah. Straight away.
Even a non-musician knows who Mark King is.
And
You
for
mentioned
bass as well,
Mark
yeah.
King, yeah.
So, yeah.
Have you met him?
I get all the time. No.
Yeah.
No.
Me and Mark nicked down the pub. Always wearing his bass. Bit weird.
So,
He never takes it off. Even in the shower.
Using it as kind of like a mantle for his pint.
never leave your pint on the bar next to him because the moment it's like, Mark turns around and he just like 9 pints just swipes them onto the floor.
But then he'll get out of it. Right, I'll play some slap.
Allegedly that occurs. We're not dissing
This
him.
may happen.
This may occur.
I like to think it happens.
Oh, I love him. It just seems like one of them guys that will probably go down to the pub with you as well.
With his bass.
With his bass.
Is that a picture of Sinister Gates?
Yeah, just an example.
A generic lead guitarist.
He's a very underrated. Well, I don't think he's that underrated. You know, a lot of people know that he's incredible, but like he's a scary player.
He's up there for my dream guitarist. We've not done our own ones yet, but and we're still thinking about it. But he's up there for me.
Right. Your second guitarist.
So
Hit us.
I'd love Joey Landreth to play, but he very much.
Tick. That was Danny's second guess.
But he would very much be in a band with people that are doing stuff that isn't.
His jam.
It's not his jam. Like he's a capable musician and that, but I think it detracts from the pure, incredible essence that is everything that he does in his music.
So everyone else would ruin it for him, effectively.
I think everyone else would ruin him for me.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
I'm like, shut up, Joey's playing. I'm like, he's
Mark, calm down. Stop slapping.
It's like just midway through a really nice
Yeah.
acoustic rendition or something, and it's just
Mike,
No.
don't you dare play that fucking fill. He's playing a solo.
Yeah, you can imagine.
So I would have to go with, and I know that Ian Thornley's an incredible lead player, so I need someone that A, has a really good voice to match up to the incredible singing of Ian Thornley. And I need someone that is capable of playing along with the pure percussive, incredible amazingness that is Mike Portnoy. And there is only one person in the world that can play guitar that well and sing that well. And it's Nuno Bettencourt.
Oh, okay. Now we're talking.
Oh, he likes that.
Yeah, I didn't see that one coming. But I'm glad you chose him.
Nuno is king.
Nuno.
He's awesome, isn't he?
Nuno is king. You heard it here first.
He taught old Sinster there how to wear his guitar around his ankle. Nuno plays his guitar so low, he basically,
We're going to have a weird zigzag of
just-
guitars and basses in this band, aren't we?
It's
Yeah. Mark up there.
Mark up to his chin.
yeah,
Nuno down to the ground.
it's just mental how he can play it that low and play stuff like Decadence Dance and It's a Monster, and you're like, how are you? What? And I went and saw Extreme and Living Colour recently. And Living Colour was so good because I think their singer, he must be 60, 70 years old now. And
Oh, yeah.
he pointed up at the people on the top balcony and he was like, can you hear me? And they were like, yeah. And he pointed his microphone away and full gospel kind of, can you hear me? And he started singing
Yeah.
over the crowd so the top balcony could hear him with his microphone here.
Wow.
That's how loud his voice was. And he was like nailing it to prove that he could.
Oh, wow.
And then he got to that kind of James Brown high pitch wow scream at the end. He went ba-da-da-da-da-da. The band came in and I was like, wow. And this is them at this age. Like, what were they like when they had
Prime.
all of that abundance? And then Extreme came out. Gary Sharon is incredible. He's just amazing. But Nuno got up there and he was like, right, get some. And I just was like, how?
Incredibly
Well,
raw.
yeah.
that he's playing. There's no gimmicks at all.
No.
Just plugs
No,
in,
just
goes.
Yeah.
To have that
Have it.
skill, that percussive element, that melodic element, he is somewhere between, if you took Van Halen, Dimebag, a little bit of Paul Gilbert, and a drum kit, it's like that, was it Midnight Express, all of that, just such a good player.
He's definitely got the Van Halen thing going on, hasn't he? You can tell he's a big fan, and he's not afraid of telling people that.
No.
He worships him, but he's definitely got his signature sound on top of all that, isn't he? Incredible player.
I need
It's
to
like-
listen to more. I've not listened to a lot, to be honest.
Well,
I
talked
know. I'm a rookie.
He talked about the Van Halen tapping technique and just took it to a whole new level. I mean, there's been players since Nuno that's taken it to. Let's mention Guthrie.
Here we go.
Like Guthrie's taken it even further with that kind of
Yeah.
technique and that sort of sound.
I actually thought it would be unfair to have Guthrie Govan in the band because, he's basically a musical robot, isn't he?
He has
So
been
good.
mentioned a few times already.
Yeah, he's been mentioned.
It's not been picked yet, though.
No, he hasn't. It's
So maybe
probably
people
because
think he's too good. They just won't
too-
pick him.
Yeah, too daunting to be in a band with him.
That's but yeah. Yeah. How can anyone keep up?
But I'd love to hear Nuno and Ian Thornley like trading licks.
Well, my thing there is Thornley could do it on the slide and Nuno would imitate it with the whammy bar.
Wow. You
And
thought about
vocal
this?
harmonies as well. Can you imagine the vocal harmonies in that band?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can.
all of them.
Especially with the singer.
Oh,
Oh,
we'll get there.
Hold on.
Let's ask. Have you met Nuno?
No, I would honestly, I would have a tiny little pee my pants freak out moment. It would be wonderful to meet him.
Yeah.
I have met Eric Gales,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and that man walked into the room and it was like someone put a battery under my seat. Honestly, the hairs on my arm stood up, and he was electrifying. There is a power about that man, and the way he talks about his life and his faith and why he's here. Like, it's almost like you can feel the universe flowing through him. If you're into hippie woo-woo stuff or not, like, it was incredible to...
He's had quite the life, hasn't he?
Yeah, so I think if I ever met Nuno and walked into the room, it would probably be a similar moment of, like, yeah, it's just so much respect that you can't freak out.
I'm intrigued at who your dream vocalist is. Who your dream vocalist is. Because you've got some powerhouse vocalists already.
And you built it up, so it better be good.
That sounded like a threat, Dan.
It was a threat.
I think that this person has probably the best vocal range, and all American 80s rock bands have that gravelly, howly ability to be like... They have this ability to make you wonder how a guy in ripped jeans and a little white vest can sing. Like, you look so manly and yet you sing like this, and it's incredible.
Sing high.
And then...
I'm very intrigued now.
Yeah. And then what made it even more amazing was the fact that these singers got more and more beautiful as the years went on. Like, some of the 80s rock singers you looked at and you're like, what a beautiful man. And then the kind of culmination of a very pretty, sleight-of-figured, howling-voiced man came out on the scene. And funnily enough, he was also in a band with Billy Sheehan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And he was lucky enough to have Paul Gilbert as his guitarist.
I think I know who he's going for.
Ooh.
It's Mr. Blobby. No.
Blobby.
I can offer you a rice cake. I don't know if you
want a fucking rice cake.
I don't know.
Get that as a sample.
I don't know if you know this, but I have shares in rice cake.
That's a T-shirt design, that is.
I don't want a fucking rice cake.
I have a pedal board like a big muff, and it just have a lead going in. It'll be a rice cake. Drum roll, ladies and gentlemen. Eric Martin.
It's only because he said Billy Sheehan was in the band, so I was like...
You guessed correctly, of course.
Was it?
What a vocalist.
What a vocalist.
What a vocalist. Like,
Amazing.
phenomenal. I still listen to Daddy Brother Love a Little Boy, Just Take My Heart, Green Tinted 60s Mind, all of the, like...
So basically, is that all off the same album?
Lean Into It?
There it is. You've heard it there.
Lean into it.
One with the train on the front?
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah.
The Paul Gilbert instructional videos came out, you know, and we all watched those as guitarists, and we were like, yeah, cool. And Racer X was a phenomenal band, and it wasn't until I got into... everyone knows To Be With You.
Yeah, we had listened to that track.
Everyone sang it at weddings before they realised. The same as, oh God, the Extreme track.
More Than Words.
Yep.
It had that same kind of vibe, didn't it? Yeah.
And what they did is they both released these ballads, and everyone went, oh, this is amazing. I've got to go and buy this album. It's such a good band. And then they turn up, and you're like, hang on a minute, this is funk rock or something. And it all went mental. You like just got Decadence dance going off or whatever, and it's like the electric drill song. Your cover of that still blows my mind. Yeah,
I actually watched that video and I think I should have been a bit more careful because my hair was very close to that drill.
That's rock and roll, bro.
Yeah,
Was it a potential scalping?
Because I did.
Someone leaves in.
Yeah.
Wrong note, Danny.
Would I left
Wrong
the video
note.
up? I remember when I first covered it years ago at Heather's old house.
Oh, yeah.
And she was downstairs and heard the drill going.
Yeah.
And
thought he was doing
she
some
didn't know
actual housework.
She thought I was doing DIY. And she just like opened the door.
Of
just
course.
closed it.
I bet she was
Just
like, of course it's on guitar.
of course she's playing the fucking guitar.
I thought he was putting that shelf up, asked him to do for about 6 years.
But yeah, he's my go-to because he has an amazing range and he writes good songs. But I think with his gruffness and his ability to get all of those notes added to the gravel and the ability of Ian Thornley, and then the fact that Nuno Bettencourt can basically harmonise anything.
Oh, wow.
What else is tapping?
It's going to be... You're right, you're going to have like 5-part harmonies, aren't you, in there?
Portnoy in it.
Yeah,
And
Portnoy
you doing
as well.
vocals as well.
Yeah, I'll be in there
Yeah.
hammonding away.
Does Mark King, he sings, doesn't he?
He's
the front man.
Yeah.
I forgot about that bit.
Yep.
Oh, God.
So Summers,
Gospel choir.
every member of Summers was a singer when I was in that band.
It opens up a lot of possibilities, doesn't it?
Yeah,
in
because
terms of harmonies.
we would do gospel harmonies, and I think Classic Rock said some stuff about our harmonies and that, and it reminds me of the opening to Fat Bottom Girls.
Oh,
because
yeah,
the moment you
yeah.
can go 2, 3, and you all split, you go, oh wow, that barbershop quartet +1 quintet. You know, you just go, holy crap, that sounds amazing. And once you get that going, I think it does like wonders to a song.
Yeah, a lot of Queen songs are so good because of the grandness of the vocals and the harmonies and the layering and all that kind of stuff.
So, Joedy, let's summarise your choices.
So we'll start off with your dream drummer.
Mike Portnoy.
First guitarist.
So that's Ian Thornley.
Yep.
And you will be the organist.
Yep.
We're fighting your organ.
I am the organ.
Look how funny you think he is.
I am the organ.
Snickering to yourself over there. Organ.
Sure. It's all gone very bottom, isn't it? Yeah.
I clipped.
And your bass player.
Mark King.
Mark King. Your second guitarist.
Nuno Betancourt.
And finally, your vocalist.
Danny Beardsley. Eric Martin.
You don't want him.
No, you definitely don't.
Eric Martin.
Eric Martin. Sounds like an amazing band.
It sounds like an amazing lineup.
Name your band.
What are you naming your band?
Oh.
I don't know if you've had, because you haven't had a great deal of time to pick. It's unbelievable he's picked this lineup, actually, because he's had very little time to do this.
Yeah, he was like, earlier, he was like, we've got time to get him in. Like, yeah, go for it. Let's get him in.
I don't know the name.
Can you think of one on the spot?
It could be the Joedy Rose Experience.
Nah, there's too many people out there with a different Joedy Rose experience that I think they'll be like, nah, not as,
Don't want that experience.
no, just for you. I'm going to call it Rice Cake.
Rice cake.
Rice cake.
I don't want a fucking rice cake. Do you think everyone's going to get on with each other in the band?
It's not my problem.
Not your problem.
He's at the back on the organ. Just
Not my problem.
Brilliant.
I literally, all the best bands in the world hate each other. Do you remember when Mark Morton knocked Randy Blythe out with a hammer punch? Yeah.
Yeah. But what a band.
yeah.
I mean, you've created, on short notice, something that's pretty mega. I'd listen to it.
I'd 100% subscribe, follow.
I'm really annoyed that I'm so busy that they're going to have to wait to complete the album without me.
But they will be waiting. The organ is essential.
Yes,
They're
it
all
is.
still alive as well, so it's actually possible. This
Yeah.
lineup.
Oh, yeah. They've normally got a couple of dead ones in, haven't we, so far? We don't have to resurrect anyone for your band, which is nice.
We have said it would be really cool if these bands actually form because of this podcast.
Oh, fingers crossed.
I know.
Especially with the guests as part of that band as well. That'd be
Holy
incredible.
shit.
I think this band needs to happen.
That would totally destroy a set if I got up there and said, like, is he drunk? No. Can someone get him drunk? Listen to him play that Hammond organ. I'm like, is this thing on?
I mean, for everyone listening, if you tag all those band members in this on social media, let's try and get it going.
Please don't tag me.
And on that note, where can you be found on social media? How can we find you? And your businesses, etc.
Just look for Coach Joedy Rose on Instagram, and there's still the odd bit of guitar stuff thrown up there. I've got some sexy pedals that I like to play with. I've also gone down the Vox 8030 route recently because it's the complete antithesis of Mesa Boogie, which is what I love.
You are really into your pedals, aren't you? So I noticed you bought your pedal board in today with you.
I have. I'm going to leave it here.
Show and tell.
For Mr. Beardsley to play about with, and I will come back and get it.
Do you have a favourite pedal?
My accelerator.
Another dad joke. That's getting cut.
So I've got Clon Clone out there. I've got the Dual List. There's obviously the original Tube Screamer, but it's that hard-earned thing. Like, none of them are going to make you sound any better. Deal with it. Analog versus digital. I love my XFX.
Yep.
But I love plugging into a Mesa Boogie Roadster and turning it onto full tilt and being like, yeah, nice.
This is the only place I can turn it up this loud.
Yeah. I was like, you should get a noise gate for that. And I'm like, what? Just pedals are great because they help you articulate. They are the spice rack.
Spice rack. Yes.
When you start to cascade your gain and play about with stuff, when you get to the point where you've got a 5-watt amp and the right sort of, and I'm talking like Chris Buck territory here, where you can, where you can just get that harmonic kind of feedback going at low levels and play about with it. My pickup of choice will always be a P90. the lower output the pickup, the better. I walked into a room and watched Nick Johnston plug a Strat into a Friedman and went, oh, you literally just used a cable. And wow.
Yeah.
It's a special cable though. It's got all the
Effects
Yeah.
built
the
in.
actual PCB.
It's got
and
Eric Clapton.
components
It's
in
got
the
Eric
cable.
Clapton built into it, and also it's just like, man. I was like, oh, he hasn't even got a tuner. Shit.
Some people are just that.
And again,
The most important pedal.
good.
Of course.
yeah.
Anything you want to plug with your fitness stuff?
So I am a coach and PT now, and I get people from fat to fit. Some people don't like that saying, but it's like I help people, and because of my past and music, etc., there is a lot to do with addiction, and I have been there with drugs and alcohol. It is a hard place to get yourself from, but it is not impossible. And also, as part of what I do, I've done a lot with suicide awareness and self-harm prevention, and I think with the statistics and mental health in the music industry, and a lot of the best songs are written by troubled people. And we've, had a bit of a joke about that this evening because it's the old band members that argue, etc. But there's a lot of people out there that need a lot of help, and depression is rife, alcoholism is rife, and all of these things are magnified within the industry. So to bring it back, I would say I help people better their lives, but also don't just plug me, plug people like Papyrus and Mind, and there's many, like the Samaritans, there's many sites out there where people can go to find people that will help them, and go to find great music, listen to good music. We can all buy guitars and pedals and everything, but the main thing is health is wealth. So yeah, if you're ever struggling and you don't think you're capable of bettering yourself, it doesn't have to be me, but find a coach or someone out there that can help you get through it.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, cheers for that.
Well, dude, thanks for taking the time to
Absolute
It's
pleasure.
been amazing, dude.
to chat, and it's always good to catch up anyway.
Been too long.
Yeah, definitely.
And very nice to meet you. I don't want to fucking
this
rice
is the
cake.
part we're flipping shocking at.
Yeah,
We
we're
know
talking
to,
about
like-
saying goodbye, so we'll have to edit
We'll
loads
just
of this
say-
anyway. But
We'll say bye.
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 TCFN.
Wow, what an episode!
Oh, what a lineup! This is a dream lineup for me. I love
I was
this
going
one.
to say, is this one of your favourites so far?
Yes. No offense to anyone else. They've all chose great lineups, but there's a few members in this band that are very special.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's a great lineup, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can't deny. You can't deny that.
Should we start running through it piece by piece? Should we start with the drummer?
Yeah. So Mike Portnoy again. What do you think to Mike? I mean, we've talked about Mike before, haven't we?
We've talked about Mike before. We have just reminded ourselves of some of his work with Winery Dogs, because I think that's kind of the genre of Portnoy that Joedy might be going after. That might be
Yeah, and it's a little bit, I'd say a little bit more interesting than Dream Theatre as well, actually.
Yeah. Well, it's like rock solid songwriting stuff. It's kind of get to the point, groove and melody.
It's got a bit more emotion in it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it probably has. And I prefer Richie Kotzon's voice.
I mean, who doesn't?
So, and it's not like Richie hasn't got the guitar skills, because he certainly has.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so, I mean, Mike Portnoy is Mike Portnoy. I feel like we're going to get a lot of him on this podcast
Oh,
throughout
aren't
the
we?
years.
Well, for any listeners wanting to listen to some decent Winery Dogs drum patterns, drum grooves,
Yeah.
Hot Streak is a good track to listen to.
Great recommendation.
There's some really nice hi-hat work at the beginning. Did you notice when we just listened to
Yeah,
it? It's
yeah.
really, really tasty.
I mean, he's a tasty drummer.
Yeah.
Is it? I mean, yes. It could be in anyone's dream band, I think.
Yeah.
Mike could. Great choice. Shall we go to the bass player next, Danny?
I know that you wanted to talk about the bass player.
It's Mark King.
Is he wearing his bass right now, do you think?
He's wearing it really high. I think he's eating his dinner. I think he rests his plate on top of the bass and he eats from there while slapping away.
How's he getting his car?
I think he's got like a like a bit cut out so he can kind of shimmy in.
Shimmy.
He shimmies in. I don't know if it's illegal to drive whilst wearing a bass, but
It's definitely not in the highway code.
I don't think there's a law against it. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, no, Mark King, level 42, slap bass galore.
Yeah, we just had a listen to a track, didn't we? Something About You, which is one of the biggest hits.
I mean, it's old school, isn't it? It's very 80s.
Yeah. But oh my god, that boy can play.
That boy can play. I'd love to hear him in like a modern type band.
Was he doing slap and pop in that, or was that
Yes.
just his like fingerstyle technique?
No, it's slapping and popping.
Is it?
I think that's his kind of default mode.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
legend.
I mean, there's a lot of compression on there, isn't there?
Yeah, it's very 80s.
But it's that 80s kind of thing, isn't it?
80s vibe, and all the songs are pretty cheesy as well. But that's the 80s.
He's going to lock in amazingly with Portnoy.
Yeah, they're going to be a proper pairing, them two are.
Yeah, that's a rhythm section of Doom, I think.
It is indeed. And what about the guitarist, though, Danny?
Oh,
Who we got first?
should we talk about Nuno first? I want to save it.
Yeah, go for it. I've not heard a lot of Nuno, to be honest. It's not really my thing.
Nuno is a force to be reckoned with.
I know you just played me some tracks, like
Yeah, because you're not as familiar with it.
No,
But everybody remembers his lead playing in tracks like Get the Funk Out. I mean, that's one of his best solos, in my opinion.
yeah.
And there's no denying that his lead work is just so rhythmic and melodic and just tasty all the time.
Was that Extreme?
That's Extreme, yeah.
That's Extreme, yeah.
And I mean, whenever he does a guest solo he did a guest solo for Nickelback on one of their latest
Did he?
albums, actually. Yeah, I remember hearing the solo, I was thinking, flipping out, that sounds absolutely sick. It was Nuno.
I mean, what you just played me sounded a bit Pantera.
I just showed Dan the track Cupid's Dead, and there's a kind of an instrumental section in the middle where they're just kind of grooving on each other, and you couldn't stop moving, could you?
No, I mean, it was really good. I quite enjoyed it, to be honest. But it did give me Pantera vibes in terms of like production, not kind of the songs as such.
Yeah,
but
I think it's
bass playing in production, like bass tone.
It's from a similar era, I think.
Yeah, you can
That
tell.
kind
I
of
think you
time.
can tell, yeah.
It's very like crisp and like metallic in a way.
Yeah, very metallic.
Yeah, it is what it is. If you listen to rock music from that era, you're gonna get that kind of production, I think. But
Yeah, it's just a sign of the times.
indeed, all three people that we've mentioned as well. Let's not forget that they've got brilliant voices as well.
They can all sing.
Yeah, they can all sing. So you've got 3-part harmonies sorted already.
And that's without the next guy who
Yeah.
can definitely wallop out a tune.
Yep.
Thornley, one of your favourites. Ian Thornley, sorry.
Ian Thornley is one of my absolute musical heroes. I discovered Ian Thornley in a strange sort of way. It was through Nickelback, because they did a cover, like an acoustic cover
Okay.
of I remember I used to have this VHS video, a live show they did at like an ice hockey stadium or something, and it was awesome. But they'd get to the favourite part of that performance. They did a track with Jerry Cantrell. He come out and they did a song together.
I love Jerry.
I believe, if my memory serves me right, it might have been an Alice in Chains song.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
But they did this acoustic song,
Okay.
and I was like, oh God, this song's amazing. It was called Mistake. And then years later, someone introduced me to the band Thornley. I was
Yep.
like, oh God, which I know that you like that. Well, certain tracks off that album, don't you?
Well, yeah, I love it. I mean, So Far, So Good,
Yeah.
Fall Into Pieces, it's banging.
Yeah,
It's proper got a good, it's like a kind of new metal vibe.
yeah, but it's that voice on top, isn't it? It's got that kind of, he's got like a Cornell kind of timbre.
It's a sing-along voice. It's
Yeah.
it's a voice you kind of want to sing along
Yeah.
to, and whether you can or not, you got to give it a go.
Yeah, I tried to sing along to him and then just fail instantly.
I mean,
So-
I think I did quite a good job, to be honest.
Yeah, you did,
And
actually.
I don't
Yeah.
claim to be a singer, unlike you.
I don't claim to be a
You
singer, trust me.
you make the claim. You make the claim.
After discovering Big Wreck, and then shortly after that, I kind of stumbled across Big Wreck and then connected all the dots, and it was like, oh, okay. So I think I just like his songwriting. I like his guitar. I love his guitar playing. His tone's amazing. His slide playing is superb. I can't really recommend a singular track. I just recommend anyone to go back for their entire back catalogue and listen to everything.
Don't listen to one song. Listen to every song.
Listen to everything by Big Wreck and then spread the word and tell everyone, because they should be much bigger than they are. Amazing.
Well, they should have stuck with the same kind of sound as Thornley as the first album.
No, I don't think so. Plus,
Well, we can agree to disagree, I think.
yeah, but the rest of it, you've got all sorts of influences, from Pink Floyd to Dire Straits, and there's even a bit of like Dream Theater influence in there at times. And Steve Morse kind of influence on the guitar, and there's the Soundgarden influence with some of the songwriting. It's such a like big mixing pot. I could talk forever about that band.
You've
Anyway.
convinced me. If only to shut you up.
Yes, A Million Days is a brilliant song to check out for guitar lead lines
In Big Wreck.
in Big Wreck.
Okay, I'll open my mind and I will listen to more Big Wreck.
Indeed.
Just for you, Danny. Just for you. Oh, and for Joedy as well, for Jody's band.
I should mention the song Give Us a Smile as well.
Okay. Apologies, listeners. He's still fucking going on about Big Wreck, isn't he? He could go on all day. Again, my apologies. And you got Joedy on Hammond organ, which was a surprise to me because he came with a pedal board and played guitar at the end with you for quite a long time.
Yeah.
Yet, he's on Hammond organ. How do you explain that, Danny?
I can't actually explain or give any kind of proof of what he sounds like on an organ because I've never heard him play.
Well, we did say you could enhance his skill a little bit, so
Yeah.
it'll be good regardless, but it is nice hearing that Hammond organ in rock songs, isn't it?
It'd be like the dude from Yes.
Oh, no. Waitman.
He's going to Rick Wakeman himself up.
Oh, my God. No one needs to do that.
But Jody's understanding of musical theory and his taste in music, based on his guitar abilities as well,
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll pull off the organ.
Oh, yeah, it sounds like he will.
Pull off the organ?
You come out with some right stuff, you do. I'm going to make a compilation.
It's always accidental.
It's never accidental. I'm going to make a compilation of all these and put it into one podcast at some point. Danny's innuendos. Would you, I mean, I know the answer already. Would you listen to this band? Would you go and see them live? Would you buy an album?
We've missed out the singer, Eric Martin.
Oh, God. Yeah. Let's keep that in.
Eric Martin from Mr. Big. He's like the cherry on top.
Eric Martin.
I mean, especially like during his prime.
Yeah, didn't Martin Jackson diss him recently on a recent podcast we did?
He did diss him. He's going to have to take it with Joedy.
They're gonna have to fight it out together. But again, I'm not that familiar with Eric Martin, if I'm honest. I haven't listened to that much stuff.
He's got a beautiful rock voice. Or he did have.
Beautiful rock voice.
He did have at least, anyway.
Allegedly.
In fact, I think I saw some of them at Bloodstock. I'm sure I did.
Okay.
I remember Paul Gilbert and Billy Sheehan.
Billy Sheehan.
Yeah.
Joedy tried to get that one past us, didn't he?
Very sneaky.
He tried to get a break of the rules in his band, but we didn't allow it.
You shut him down straight away, didn't you?
Well, yeah, we saw what he was doing.
He tried to tempt you with a rice cake, just like a bit of a sweetener.
I
But
didn't want a fucking rice cake.
would you go and see this band, Dan?
Yes, I would. Just thinking about it, yeah, I definitely would. 100%. Actually, I've never seen Mark King. I'd go to just see Mark King. What about you? I know you would. Bloody hell, I don't even have to answer the question, do you?
100%.
100%.
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
the talent's there, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Again, like most of these bands that people create, it's banging, really, isn't it?
I think I've gone to see every band so far.
I don't think I have.
You're a bit more picky.
Yeah, I'm a little bit more picky.
And closed-minded.
Picky. Let's just clarify. Picky. I'm quite an open-minded man. So yeah, go and see them. Would I buy an album? It depends what the songs are like. I can't commit to the album, Danny. Can you commit to the album?
I've already pre-ordered it.
You've already pre-ordered it. Okay, you've committed. Okay.
Yeah. What do you think? Let us know.
Oh yeah, you can drop us a comment and all that kind of stuff. Like and follow.
And subscribe.
Like the little song at the end tells you to do. Have a little listen. Tells you what to do at the end.
Indeed. Leave us a 5-star review.
Oh, that'd be nice. So shall we say goodbye, Danny?
Yeah, it's been a great episode this week. I've really enjoyed it. Until next time, goodbye for now.
Goodbye.
We're so sorry to see you go, but thanks for tuning into the show. Hold back your tears, so sweet.